Hello, I am Jessie Jacobs. I'm going to be doing a presentation on the Duke Energy Corporation. To start, I'm going to go over their history. So starting in 1900 is where the company found its roots. It was originally started as the Southern Power Company. In 1905, the company became officially incorporated. In addition, it began its partnership with William States Lee, who was an electrical engineer. Lee actually went on to build the first dam of a very complex dam system for the company on the Catawba River. The next key highlight to mention is Walker and Robert Wiley. They are brothers, and their main focus was supplying textile mills with energy through a hydroelectric force. Those brothers actually built a large hydropower station along the Catawba River as well. 4 years after that, construction entered the James and Benjamin Duke. They are a set of brothers as well, and they actually purchased the company, including the dam, 4 years after the power station was built. In 1913 is another key turning point for the Southern Power Company, or known as Duke Power Company. In 1913, they began the company Southern Public Utilities. Before they branched off to the utilities company, they were solely dedicated to commercial textile mills. Starting the Southern Public Utilities actually allowed them to branch off and kind of start not a revolution, but it helped to modernize the domestic life, especially in the Carolinas, because it created a residential sector for the company. In 1924, the company officially became the Duke Power Company, which kind of brings us into the present day name for the company. The next kind of big step for the company was when they started to build steam stations. The first two were built in Greenville, South Carolina, but the biggest one was the Buck Steam Station, and that was actually built on the Yadkin, and that kind of started another growth for the company. The next big growth came in 1965 with the the Kiowa Toxaway project. This project actually gave them their first start into the nuclear power realm. In 1997, Duke Power and Pan Energy merged together to create a powerhouse called the current day Duke Energy Corporation. Pan Energy was a natural gas company, so that created a whole powerhouse that just kind of revolutionized the company that we know today. So this kind of brings us into present day. And when I say present day, I'll talk about the last 10 years. In 2012, Duke Energy Corporation acquired another energy company called Progress Energy. This came from their focus switching over to environmental and economic sustainability. Acquiring Progress Energy allowed them to build their customer base on down into Florida. And then in 2016, they made another huge acquisition with Piedmont Natural Gas. And then that acquisition of Piedmont Natural Gas expanded their business on into Tennessee, and it gave them a huge natural gas sector as well. Present day, the company is a Fortune 150 company that is home to 29,000 employees. And Duke Energy today also operates in other business sectors within the company. Those sectors are the regulated utilities, obviously. They also have sustainable solutions, electric transportation, international energy, and commercial transmission. They also have a sector of renewable resources, and this renewable resources is growing rapidly. That renewable resources sector is home to 126 different solar facilities, 22 wind facilities, 11 fuel cell, and 1 battery storage project. And these facilities, specifically the wind and fuel cell, kind of spread on into the West Coast. So speaking of the company present day, again, they have operations, like I said, over multiple states, 7 to be exact. Over those 7 states, they have electric utilities in the Carolinas, Florida, Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana. And they have gas utilities, again, in the Carolinas, Tennessee, Ohio, and Kentucky. They service 7.8 million electric customers and 1.6 million natural gas customers. Fun facts about that is of the 7.8 million electric customers, they're serviced by 311,000 miles of electrical lines or power lines, and the 1.6 million natural gas customers are serviced by 34,000 miles of natural gas pipelines. So going into the competition of Duke Energy, they have some of their largest competitors are Energy, American Electric Power, APR Energy, and Seminole Electric Company. Specifically pertaining to these other companies, Duke has consecutively ranked in the top 3 in comparison to these companies, and when it comes to the CEO, employee satisfaction, gender diversity, product quality, customer loyalty, and customer service. Moving into the organizational structure, this is an image of the CEO and president, Lynn Good. She also sits as the chair of the Senior Management Committee. That Senior Management Committee is composed of 12 members, 4 of which are senior vice presidents. There's 6 executive vice presidents, 1 CEO to the advisor, and then the CEO or chair herself, Miss Lynn. They also, in addition to the committee, they have another sector of senior leadership that is composed of 13 members. And that senior leadership is composed of other vice presidents and the CCO and the chief ethics officer. In addition to that, there are state presidents for each individual state in which the company operates in. Organizational structure kind of leads into our human resources sector. Human resources, the strategy for the company, they offer quality benefits. Their benefits range from the basic medical, dental, and vision all the way to retirement program. They have a wellness program, paid time off, parental leave, and something I found interesting was the work-life balance program. This work-life balance program is not something that you hear promoted a lot from major corporations. Corporations usually tend to expect their companies to, live and breathe their company. But the fact that Duke Energy offers that work-life balance program is very interesting. They also encourage the retirement within their company. Their retirees, they encourage to continue to be active within the company. So they get, monthly and quarterly newsletters on the current standings of the company. In addition, they also have a retirement committee that works directly with the Duke Energy Foundation. Duke Energy also does a lot of work with diversity and inclusion. A lot of the awards that they receive as a company come from a diverse workforce. In addition, they have multiple career paths. So when you apply to Duke Energy, you have 4 different career paths that you can choose from. One would be the customer service aspect. They have the line workers. They have a military career path. And then they also have the renewable resources career path that you can work in. Something else that they offer is a college network. So it's a network that they participate with the colleges that offer programs directly geared towards Duke Energy's company. In addition to that college network, they also have guidance, career guidance paths for their employees, whether the employees are craft-based or corporate-based. As far as the marketing strategy for Duke Energy, it's pretty basic. They have 3 main topics: regulated utilities, customers first, and future strategy. The regulated utilities can kind of be seen as a negative aspect, though. Although 86% of the company's annual revenues come from the regulated utilities, that's what their marketing campaigns focus on. All of their marketing campaigns that you see are directly related to Duke Energy's regulated utilities. Plus, they also view their customers first. They have a customers first mentality. Everything that they do, all of their large corporate decisions are all based on the direct impact and outlook of their customers. In addition to that customers first mentality, they also have a future. They focus on their future strategy. So decisions that they make now, they are making them now in accordance to how it's going to impact the company in 5 years. As far as the financials of the company, they did have a major drop in revenue from 2019 to 2020. that drop was actually about 3.47%. But speaking to quarter one of 2021, they've actually had a 3.38% increase in revenue. So they have kind of counteracted that drop that they had in from 2020. In addition, they have the 5.73% increase of net income, and they have a gross profit margin of 4.07%. All of those numbers are numbers for just Q1, but it is significant to mention that all of those numbers are greater than the same numbers from 2020 as a whole. Going into the next slide is the pest and SWOT slide. I'm not going to be doing a full pest analysis and SWOT analysis of the company, but I am going to hit some of the key topics. For the political aspects, Duke Energy, being an energy company and a utilities company, has a lot of government regulation. So a lot of those play into, everyday decisions for the company. They also have a strong economic impact. So specifically their infrastructure quality, if they don't have good equipment to provide the power or the natural gas to their customers, it can majorly impact the company from an economic standpoint. Socially, is all based on kind of the demographics of their customer base and the culture from their customers. If they have customers that, speaking to natural gas, if they have customers that have colder winters, the natural gas is going to be much more important to them, especially if they have gas heat in their home. Whereas, for us here in North Carolina, we have really hot summers, and, with your AC is important. So that increases, the power that's being utilized from the home. Some of the strengths and weaknesses of the company are important. The strengths, though, specifically for Duke Energy, is they have a very strong cost structure and a continued growth strategy. So the cost structure is something that they rely heavily on, and they want to, have less impact on their customers financially as much as possible. So that cost structure is very much a strength in compared to their competitors, and their continued growth. Duke Energy is constantly looking at ways to grow as far as renewable resources are concerned. But some of their weaknesses are the fact that they have a lack of a quality control budget. And then they lack in the market research and the research and development in comparison to their competitors. Their competitors, some of their, a good portion of their budget to research and development, where unfortunately Duke Energy does focus a lot of their budget annually towards their regulated utilities. As far as their corporate citizenship status, I would rate them as good. They, have the Duke Energy Foundation, which specifically works towards providing grants and economic relief to low income areas. These are some of the 2020 awards. Again, a lot of their awards are diversity based. That's why they got the Best Employers for Diversity award. Something else that makes them a good corporate citizen is they always want to leave a positive impact. So everywhere that they go, they're leaving a positive impact on that community and that environment. They're reducing their carbon emissions and, goals of things like that to, have higher sustainability. They also, again, like I mentioned earlier, want to offer the affordable energy for their customers and reduce that cost impact. And they also have a lot of safety in the workplace. Safety is always at the forefront of their mind, and that is something that, although it impacts just their employees directly, I think it falls under the good corporate citizenship status. And finally, would I work here? I most definitely would work here. Some of the things that, kind of struck home to me is that the company, although it's been around for, 100 plus years, they are still holding strong to the values that were created by their founding fathers. They still operate on those values, and although, senior leadership has changed, a lot in those years, the senior leadership is still holding strong and incorporating the core original values, and the fact that they leave a positive note everywhere that they go, and they want to positively impact their environment and their community. That speaks volume to a company. If they care that much about their community, they're going to care that much about their employees. I thank you for your time.